Yo, what is up everybody, and welcome back to another Madden 20 online CFM game. It is time to kick off Season 4 in the Premier Madden League. We are live at the 2022 NFL Draft, where our Miami Dolphins are making our first pick of the draft, even though it is round 2, pick number 25. Of course, our Dolphins traded away our first round pick this year in order to acquire Teron Armstead from the New Orleans Saints. And our Dolphins got a second round pick from the Atlanta Falcons in the Josh Rosen trade. So that is the pick we are making right now. The Falcons, the second round pick. And then from here on out, our Dolphins pick number 32 in each round. Of course, we picked number 32 because in the last episode in this CFM, our Miami Dolphins came back from down 14 points to take down the two-time defending Super Bowl champions, undefeated throughout the entire CFM until the very last game, the Chicago Bears. If I wrote that script on purpose, Hollywood would probably be calling me up right now. Of course, that was not a script that was written in this CFM. Obviously, everything is unscripted. This is just a CFM I'm in with 32 users. 32 pretty good users in Madden, I must say so myself, including that Bears dude. Shout out to Mole. And yeah, we managed to pull out the Super Bowl. So really quick, I just want to say in this video, thank you so much to everybody who flooded the comment section with all you guys' support, you know, saying congrats on the Super Bowl, all that good stuff. Everybody that's been ride or die with the Miami Dolphins since day one, since we were 63 overall, as the draft is going on in the background. I just want to, you know, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. You know, I'm going to get back to those. Hopefully by the time I even upload this video, I can respond to all those comments. My goal is to respond to like every single one. So, you know, there's a lot of them, but I will get back to you guys just because, you know, that's how much you guys' support has meant to me throughout this series, because it's been a lot of fun for me to do. Like, honestly, if I wasn't uploading this CFM, it would still be a lot of fun. But the fact that, you know, I get to share this experience, not only share this experience, but, you know, let you guys be a part of this thing and make this our team instead of just my team, is just, you know, it's unreal, man. It's just a lot of fun. The fact that we managed to pull off that damn Super Bowl, man, like, that was unreal. That was absolutely unreal. So even though we have the Super Bowl in the back pocket, you know, there's no time to chill for our Miami Dolphins. We're right back at it next year. It's Season 4, and we're gonna look to defend our Super Bowl trophy. And you know, it's not going to be easy, but we're going to definitely try to make it happen. And part of what we're trying to do with our Miami Dolphins is get ourselves a new starting tight end. As you guys are seeing, we have drafted 2 tight ends already. Mike Gesicki is gone. I mentioned in a couple of previous videos that Gesicki was a free agent, and you know, we might have maybe not been offering him a contract. Well, we didn't offer him a contract. I figured, you know, let's just draft a young guy. Like, we have all these draft picks, and honestly, we don't have many holes in our team. So, like, what are we even going to do with these draft picks? Like, I'm just drafting a receiver to draft a receiver at this point. Offensive line is definitely something we could address. So, we got MUT Squads with our first pick in the second round, and that was a pretty solid get up. And then after that, I drafted back-to-back tight ends. I just really didn't know what to do with these picks. I'm thinking about getting a defensive back here. I actually go backup quarterback because Desmond Ridder, the guy out of Cincinnati, he actually had pretty solid stats, and he ended up actually being a pretty good pick for us. You know, back in the round number 5, he ends up being like, I think, a 72 overall, so that's not bad. It's not like he's going to be in here competing with Khalil Tate. Unlike when we drafted Khalil Tate and put him against Josh Rosen, that was a quarterback controversy. This is not. This is just us drafting a backup to draft a backup. And then round 6, back in the round 6, we're going to get Cameron Brown. The offseason was pretty uneventful for our Miami Dolphins, so we are not really going to be spending much time on the offseason. Like, you know, the past couple of seasons, you know, we had a lot of moves to make. We had a lot of high draft picks, a lot of trades to be made. This offseason, all we did was play around with cap space. We still have a lot of cap space with this squad, but even then, we didn't really sign many big names. The one big name we did sign was Maurice Pouncey from the Pittsburgh Steelers, I believe it was. One of the Pouncey brothers is on our team now. He's an 83 overall center, so, you know, that's a solid get up for us, because before our, you know, starting center before free agency was Connor McGovern. He was like a 73 overall, so that's a plus 10 overall difference. So, you know, that's solid. We re-signed Kyle Long to be our right guard, kind of just out of necessity to have someone. Now we have MUT Squads. He's probably going to take Larry Warford's spot on the offensive line, and these tight end spots were kind of occupying instead of having Mike Gesicki. You guys see the draft roundup here. Pretty solid draft for us, I must say. This draft class was pretty stacked, so it wasn't like we got really lucky in this draft class. This was just an overall, like, pretty stacked draft class that, obviously you guys know how the drafts work in the CFM by now. The commissioner of the CFM, he makes his own custom draft classes that are insanely in-depth. Shout out to my guy JT, man. The commissioner of the CFM, man. He definitely, he holds things down, man. He's the real MVP. Shout out to JT, man. Shout out to JT. Shout out to the guy who uses the Giants in the CFM, Natural SGO. You guys might know him as Sports Gamer Online. He has his YouTube channel that I believe has over 200,000 subscribers by now, or at least it should have that much. And I shout him out because he's the one that invited me into this CFM in the first place. I wouldn't be in the Premier Madden League if it weren't for SGO. So big shout out to him. I'll leave his link in the comment section or something, or the description, just so you guys can check him out. And main thing, just tell him, Cookie Boy said thank you for inviting him, right? Because he's the one that had us in the CFM, or else I probably would have not been doing the CFM series this year, I just took the invite and kind of ran with it. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be uploading these. I kind of just joined the CFM on my own. I was like, this would be a cool YouTube deal, and it ended up being a lot more than anyone could have ever imagined, man. This has just been a lot of fun, and we're looking to continue it in Season 4. So, yeah, the off-season was pretty uneventful otherwise for us. Part of the reason why, because like I said, there's not much to improve on this team right now. A lot of our guys are young guys. We are developing talent more so than bringing in big names. Like, Season 3, like, we needed to fill up some gaps. We got DeAndre Hopkins. We got Teron Armstead. We're definitely still looking to make moves, but that's neither here nor there right now. We'll see if we can make any trades, in the upcoming weeks before the trade deadline. Right now, we're focused on Season 4, Game 1. We are right in the regular season, and we are going against the Chicago Bears. No, this is not deja vu. We are playing the Chicago Bears to start off Season 4 on opening night. Bears versus Dolphins. Can the Bears get their revenge? I don't know about that, because the Bears are a CPU team. Yeah, that's right. So where is our guy Mole, our good friend Mole, the guy that we just beat like a week or two ago? Well, here's the thing. Mole, using the Bears, he said he was leaving the CFM at the end of Season 3, no matter whether he won the Super Bowl or lost the Super Bowl. He said that before even the playoffs started. So he ended up, well, he was true to his word. He wanted to play MLB The Show, and he just left the CFM after Season 3. I tried to get him to come back and play at least this, game before, the new season started, or at least just Game 1 of this new season, just so we could have our rematch. It just so happened to be Bears versus Dolphins was on the calendar for Week 1 of Season 4. I was like, I didn't really push too hard, but, I at least put it in our Discord. I was like, hey, man, like, I'd rather play you than play the CPU, and unfortunately, we didn't get a new user for the Bears in time. The Bears are actually going to have a new user you guys are going to see for Week 2, but for this week, we weren't, the commissioner, at least, wasn't able to find a new user for the Bears, so I got stuck playing the CPU. It was either that or I got a forced win, and, we just got a win and took it, but I was like, you know what, let's just play the CPU, why not, right? Even though I might put myself in jeopardy of losing, one, I didn't want to have any injuries happen in a CPU simulation game, and two, hell, we're playing against the Bears. It's a Super Bowl rematch. Whether it's against a human or a CPU, why not? Let's just do it, man. Let's just do something, have some fun. Oh, Tate's not having any fun dealing with Khalil Mack. Going against, a pass rush in Madden 20 is not fun. Going against a CPU pass rush is 10 times hell, especially against the Chicago Bears with Khalil Mack and Leonard Floyd on the outsides. All we can do is hit Colin Johnson and get into field goal range, man. Just please have mercy on me. So, for Season 4, what is the outlook for our Miami Dolphins? Like I said, we have a lot of talent that, we're just going to continue to develop, whether it's on the defensive end. We have Bryce Hall, obviously Caden Stearns, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year. We did not re-sign Jason Verrett. I'm going to try to get Thomas Graham as our slot cornerback this season, as Malik Harrison knocks the ball out, and it's recovered by Mitchell Trubisky himself, but it is 3rd down and 20. You guys see I'm running a lot of mid-blitz right now. Eventually, I switched up the defensive play calls, just, so I wasn't running mid-blitz every single play. I was like, if I'm going to upload this, I might as well not run mid-blitz every single time, right? But for the first, drive or 2 or 3, I think I just ran mid-blitz every single time, just because, I'm playing against the CPU, I don't really care, I just want to beat the CPU. I don't care how I do it, as Linton J. Dixon looking to pop off in Season 4, and he's one of those young talents we're trying to, get better in season 4. Obviously, we have Boston Scott. We have 2 superstar running backs. I think what we're going to do in season 4 is just, kind of what we did in season 1. Just play the hot hand thing where whoever has the hot hand at the running back position will kind of roll with, though. I wouldn't like to get Lin J a lot of reps. At the same time, Boston Scott's a hard guy to deny keeping off the field. And then the way we ended season 3 was running a lot of split backfields with both Boston Scott and Lin J Dixon. So we'll try to, do some of that. Obviously, this is, an irregular game. This is not like our normal CFM game. Things will be back in the flow with things. Week 2, we played the Minnesota Vikings. They've had a user this entire CFM, and that's not going to change. So, week 2 will be back to normal. But right now, I can just chill out and talk to you guys a little bit, right? So, you guys see I'm using Thomas Graham there. I'm going to try to use Thomas Graham a little bit more, especially on passing downs for season 4, so we could try to help develop Thomas Graham, kind of the way we developed Bryce Hall in season 2. And obviously, every single year we have a project to work with in the defensive backfield. Season 1 it was Minka, season 2 it was Bryce Hall, season 3 Caden Stearns. We passed all of those with flying colors, right? Each one of those guys had double-digit interceptions. So the goal is to try to do that with Thomas Graham. Now, doing that against the CPU is not maybe gonna work, as Lin J Dixon is hurt. Alright, I guess the high hand is Boston Scott by default, and we'll see how long Lin J Dixon is out for. That could be a potential multiple week injury. Didn't look good, but right now Boston Scott is looking good. He's looking great. Boston Scott for the touchdown. The first touchdown of the season for the defending Super Bowl champion Miami Dolphins. How good does that sound? Oh my, that sounds fantastic. What does not look fantastic? That PAT. Now, that was just me just straight up not paying attention, not really locked in, because I'm playing the CPU. At this point, I was like, all right, I should be able to beat the CPU. Honestly, when I was playing this game at first, in that first quarter, it was a little bit shaky, man. Those Bears had me in the first quarter, kind of thinking, damn, I better not drop this game. But once we got a 12-0, I think that's when I started, mixing up the defensive play calls a little bit more. Plus, I was like, you know what? We offer a mid-blitz every single play. It's going to be hard for other guys to, make plays, get tackles and stuff like that. So, let me just... it was going to help Malik Harrison if I mid-blitzed a lot. He was on the outside. He was going to rack up sacks, but, we had to chill out a little bit. Plus, it is a sim league. Let's at least show some simness even against the CPU. Oh, Caden Stearns. He still hits hard, ladies and gentlemen. Do not get in the area of the reigning Defensive Player of the Year. Xavier Howard is back with superstar abilities. He's feeling himself. The Bears are feeling themselves from 57 yards out. Nah, I don't know who they were kidding even trying that. So now we get the ball pretty much at midfield, and there is one of our tight ends, Jeremy Rucker. So at the end of the preseason, I didn't show you guys the preseason just because, like I said, there wasn't too much to show besides, how our tight ends were doing in the preseason, and, let's just skip. And plus, this season 1 game is against the CPU, so I was like, you know what, rather than showing you guys preseason and showing you guys a bunch of offseason that, there was not too much going on, to be completely honest, as it is Marquise Pouncey, I have learned, because he got a holding penalty on a 3rd down that was going to be a 1st down to Robert Woods. Oh, by the way, we have Robert Woods. Yeah, let me mention that for a second. That's our other big acquisition in free agency. Like I said, it was kind of just, there were names in free agency, but at positions we didn't really need. But I was like, you know what? No one was making a move on Robert Woods, so I signed him to a 1-year deal. Pretty expensive. It might be $13 million he's getting, but we had the cap space to do it. I was like, you know what? Robert Woods might not be a bad, number 4 receiver potentially, right? Let's just put him in there and see what happens. Obviously, with Colin Johnson kind of falling out the rotation in the playoffs, he could even be a number 2, but the goal this season is to get Colin Johnson reestablished in the lineup at least. If not, we might have to trade him, but I'd really like to get Colin Johnson back and going again. And in general, I'd like to pass the ball more this season, right? Because I feel like we were not a good passing team last season. Even though I feel like we could have been better, we had DeAndre Hopkins, we should have been better, and we had Khalil Tate, really rising in overall. But at the same time, the playbook I was running last season, so, by the way, a lot of you guys asked me what playbook I run this CFM, because it's a pretty fancy looking playbook, right? We got a lot of plays, a lot of formations. It's a custom playbook. Oh, Boston Scott. He's saucy. He's so saucy, man. How about Scott out the backfield? Why not? Boston Scott, put the team on your back real quick. But yeah, I run a custom playbook, mainly because these CFM games are so long. You kind of just gotta make your own custom playbook, or else you're really gonna be running, repetitive play calls over and over. So how about this? Robert Woods, 3rd and 1. He's got the first down. He's got the juke move. We are breaking ankles all over these Bears CPUs. Robert Woods into the end zone. His first game as a Dolphin, and he finds the end zone on what is technically a passing play on the jet touch pass. You guys see these weird angles they give for the kickoffs. I've not really played the CPU this year. Like, this was probably the first full game I played against the CPU all year, so I didn't really know what to expect. Well, I play a lot of solo challenges in MUT, but like as far as just like a straight up game against a CPU like this, I haven't played one of these all year, so like I wasn't really sure what was gonna go on. But thankfully it's working out good for us. We're up 19-0 at the end of the first quarter. Trust me, I would much rather be playing. Like, it kills me that I'm playing against the CPU right now. Like, there's one wish I can make in this CFM is to never play against the CPU again, right? This is like, come on, man. Like, we're about to blow the doors off the CPU. And I can't even, like, stat pad properly. Like, obviously, you don't want to say, like, yeah, I'm stat padding, but, like, in a game against the CPU, you would like to get some guys' numbers is up that you would want to, and it might not be easy to against an actual user, but I can't even do that properly right now. Like, I'd love to be passing the ball more, but I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot right now, trying to let long plays develop, and I'm getting sacked and all that good stuff. As how about this rookie, Bentavious Thompson? He was Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the draft, and he's still on our roster, so good for him as DeAndre Hopkins makes the catch. Hopefully we can get Nuke a bit more involved in the offense, but at the same time, I do like spreading the ball out in general. We have a lot of mouths to feed on this team because we have Grant still. We got, some rookie tight ends we got to figure out in this offense. Robert Woods is here. Cullen Johnson is still here. And then in general, I'm just really not the kind of person that does well when I try to force the ball to one receiver, especially when you're playing against people with brains, which most people in the CFM have. Most people are pretty solid. I would say are good players, especially for a CFM atmosphere when you have to mix up the play calls. A lot of these guys are pretty good. So, what they usually do is they just try to take DeAndre Hopkins away. So when I try to get the ball to D-Hop, they're like bracket coveraging DeAndre Hopkins, to next week, to the sidelines pretty much. Or like they're like, throw the ball to someone else and I'm not getting the message. So, hopefully for this season, I can just call some plays and have our defense make plays for us. That's always been the MO of the Miami Dolphins, right? Defensively, everything is fine. We're just going to continue doing what we've been doing for the first couple of seasons. We don't got to change anything up. Jerome Baker gets the fumble forced by Derek Brown, takes it into the end zone, and we are officially blowing out the CPU Chicago Bears. This one is getting a bit ugly. But yeah, offensively, I'll try to spread the ball out. I'm going to try to add some, new, more diverse passing plays into our custom playbook because, the way I had this playbook set up for seasons 2 and season 3 were that, we had a lot of short to intermediate passing plays and a lot of plays where I needed to, like, max protect because our offensive line was not that good and wouldn't give me time to, get some great plays off. And plus, we didn't exactly have the weapons either. Now we have the weapons, for the most part, passing the ball, and more importantly, we have a way better offensive line. So, hopefully we just play better offensively in season 4. That would be nice because sometimes we were begging to lose games offensively, but we were just so stout defensively that we were able to do very, very well as Boston Scott goes up the middle. Thankfully, Lynn J. Dixon is not seriously hurt. We are going to bubble wrap him for the rest of this game. Boston Scott is going to handle this, and Boston Scott might not even be handling these touches for much longer because we got to make sure we don't get Boston Scott hurt, and what essentially is a blowout against the CPU as Khalil Tate is taken down, 3rd down and 4. I try to sneak one in there, and yeah, Khalil Mack. He's still a problem, man. Khalil Mack was really bugging us in that Super Bowl, man. He was absolutely killing Austin Blight. Same story in this one, right? Austin's Blight is still getting killed, even when we try to double. It doesn't matter. It's Khalil Mack. I don't think he's a 99 overall at this point in the CFM, since this is like season 10 for Khalil Mack. As far as how far we are in the CFM, we're in 2022 right now, but yeah, he's still an absolute terror. So, yeah, it's a blowout now. It's pretty much milk and cookies time. I'm just trying to get out of this game without any injuries, get our win. Like, we haven't done anything too spectacular. Like, we don't even have an interception yet. Like, think of how good we are at forcing interceptions and just forcing turnovers in general with this squad. We have the fumble recovery, but that's it. That's all we have as far as forcing turnovers, no interceptions. And, one thing we do very well is building up defensive players by getting sacks and turnovers and all that cool stuff. And, yeah, I just can't do that against the goddamn CPU because Like, you got Mitch Trubisky out here dotting our life away on, like, 3-yard checkdowns left and right. Like, check this one out, man. Like, for pride's sake, the CPU's kicking the field goal? Really? Like, we're not going to even try? Like, get a touchdown here? 2-point conversion, anything can happen? No? Kickoff? No onside? Alright, CPU, whatever. Gives me more time to chew clock. At this point, I kind of fancy an lateral the ball to Brashad Perriman. We have a heavy dosage of receivers. Like I mentioned, we have all those guys, and then we have Brashad Perriman as potential wide receiver number 5 on the depth chart, so... yeah, I mean, at least Brashad Perriman is a good kick returner for us, and he's on a pretty solid contract. So we got Perriman just around in case we have some injuries. You never know what could happen as we put, Jakeem Grant in motion here on 3rd down and 8. We can really break these CPU's ankles, but not much more. We end up punting the ball here on 4th down. You see how just chewing clock. I really needed this game to be over with. Like I said, we'll be back to normal week 2, I promise. The Vikings are a pretty good team in the CFM, though. We do play the NFC North as far as interconference opponents this season, and the NFC North has been, you know, maybe the best division in this CFM. Yeah, we had the Chicago Bears in there going 16-0 every single season, but besides that, the Lions have been really good. They've made the playoffs in seasons 2 and 3. The Vikings made the playoffs season 1, and they're primarily always over 500 every single season. I think last season they might have finished 10-6, and even the Packers, I think, finished season 3 as like a 9-7 or 10-6 team. So we definitely have our work cut out for us as far as inter-squad action, and especially next week against the Vikings, that'll be a good measuring stick as far as, you know where our team is at. What are the Bears doing? Like, can they just punt the ball? Why do they gotta miss field goals so much? Like, what is this? It's so short that Brashad Perriman is returning it, and then at this point, I'll just straight up goofing around, seeing if I can make a top 10 play with Perriman. As long as we don't return this, we'll just be kneeling the ball from where Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yes, Ryan Fitzpatrick is back. Somehow, Fitzmagic has not retired in the CFM. The man is a 61 overall. He's like 39 years old, but he's back for one more year. So, like, man, I can't leave Ryan Fitzpatrick hanging. He's been with us since day one. There's not been many people that have been on this Dolphins team since day one, and Fitz is one of them, man. Keep on bringing them back so we can take these kneel downs. When you see Fitz on the field, you know it's a victory. Just like it was in Super Bowl 46. He comes back against the Bears to start season 4. We start off 1-0. So, yeah, that will do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, you know. I hope you guys were informed. This is more of an informative video than anything else, really. But obviously, more than anything else, you know, just I gotta say one more time, thank you for everybody's comments on the Super Bowl video, because, like, you know, that was just straight up awesome what we did, man. Nothing else to say about it. It was just spectacular. I don't know how in the world we managed. It was just the perfect storyline more than anything else. Like, yeah, we won a Super Bowl, but just the way we did it, our journey, you know, the storyline, the team we went against, it was all almost, I would say, storybook in a way, right? It was cool. As far as virtual storylines go, it was pretty storybook, right? So yeah, leave a like on the video if you guys, you know, enjoyed kicking back. Subscribe for more Madden 20 CFMs when we actually play against online opponents. And on that note, I will catch you guys next time. Thank you, as always, for watching.